Hi everybody, welcome back to Birmingham Wildlife Conservation Park for the latest in our Wednesday Facebook Live videos. We will be going to see the Neuromastics and some of our other reptiles in a moment. Just thought we'd come and have a look at a rather warm red panda before we started. I think he's off to go into his bush. Bit of shade in his bush there. So yeah, we're carrying on our alphabet theme. So U is for Neuromastics, but we will have a look at some of the other reptiles in the reptile house as well. Just because I don't think we can spend, 15 minutes on Neuromastics. But any questions or anything, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we will just have a little look at what's going on. So yeah, here are our two Neuromastics that we've got on show in our reptile house. So these guys are Sahara Neuromastics, and these two here are two young individuals that were bred here at the park. So these guys are not fully grown. Fully grown adults get to about double the size of these guys. But yeah, these guys are also known as spiny-tailed lizards, so you can see that from their tail there. They've got these nice spines on their tail. And the two we've got in here are actually different colours, and you do get different colour morphs, as they're called. You get the reddy orange one, which you can see here at the front, with the orangey bits on the skin, and then you do get the kind of yellow morph as well, which is very, very yellow. You do go very kind of neon yellow. So they are the same species, and the colour thing isn't kind of gender related or anything like that. It is just a colour morph. So these guys are usually found in North Africa, kind of Algeria, Mali, Sudan, that kind of area. And they are omnivorous. They mainly eat kind of leaves and grasses and things, but they will take little bugs and things like that as well. So yeah, like I say, these guys were bred here, and we had quite a bit of breeding success with our Neuromastics. We had quite a few youngsters over the years that have mostly moved on to other collections. But we do still have a couple here, as you can see them here. We still have their mother is living off show. So yeah, these guys have done well. Hard to focus, I'm afraid, but there we go. So these guys are in the same family as things like bearded dragons, water dragons and things like that. So they are part of quite a common family. Yeah, these two, the temperatures in here have to be very warm, obviously because they are from the Sahara and things like that, so they do get very warm. So we've got these nice basking areas for them, just to keep the temperature nice and high. So yeah, they do shed their skins, Lorna, and you can see that on the red morph on here. You can see kind of the grey patches on the tail, and then kind of on the head there, and on the leg. Some of that skin is coming off there. So they don't shed it in kind of one piece like snakes do. It does come off more in pieces. But yeah, you can see that there, bits that are coming off. Even the end of the tail there, that's a bit more dull in colour. Right then, we'll leave these two and we'll just have a quick look around some of the other species we've got in our reptile house. So we've got our Rhinoceros rat snakes here. There's a good shot of that one there. So named because they have a big kind of pointy nose, much like a rhinoceros. Got our female just there. Then we have our male here. We'll come along now to our iguana, our Utile iguana. So this guy is critically endangered. Yeah, Utile iguanas are, like I say, critically endangered. They are only found on the island of Utila, so they've got very short range, very small range, which kind of leads to that critically endangered status. Quite a small species of iguana. Barry here is fully grown. Just having a bit of a rest at the moment on the bottom of the viv. Get a better angle, but it's bamboo in a way, unfortunately. Next one along here, we've got our Madagascan tree boa, just in the corner here. I don't know if you can see that very easily. Yes, Georgia, we do have capybara. We've got 3 girls up the kind of top of the site, up by our Sichutunga and our wallabies. So yeah, 3 capybara to come and have a look at. So yeah, this Madagascan tree boa obviously found on Madagascar. This one again is a youngster, not fully grown. They do get quite large. Yeah, they're found kind of throughout Madagascar, and they will feed on kind of small mammals and birds and things like that. Yeah, just trying to keep himself cool down the bottom there. No, unfortunately we don't do any kind of animal experiences, Georgia. Yeah, if we did, I think the capybara would be one we'd have to do because it'd be very popular. But no, unfortunately we don't, I'm afraid. Right, we'll pop round here, see if we can see our beaded lizard. Yes, one of our beaded lizards is out. I think this is the male. So beaded lizards, we're probably actually going to have a look at these guys next week as well, because we're going to be doing V for venomous next week, and these guys are a venomous lizard species. They're named beaded lizards because of the kind of beading on their skin. You can see those little bumps on their skin. So that's why they get their name, beaded lizards. And these guys are from kind of Mexico, Central America, that kind of region, living in tropical scrubs and savannas and things like that. So they prefer it warm as well, so they're enjoying this weather. Nice one, George. Yeah, capybara is everyone's favourite. Yeah, we're fairly autism friendly, so yeah, you'll be fine to come and visit. Yeah, you'll be all good. So in here we do also have some curly-tailed lizards who are hiding at the moment, that share the space with our beaded lizards. Yeah, this one here is our male. The female is hidden away somewhere. Not quite sure where. Just have a quick look around here. Come and see our croc lizard. So, yeah, that's a good question, Lorna. So, lizards are kind of lizard is generally the general term for the whole kind of group of animals, of reptiles that have 4 legs and tails and things like that aren't tortoises and turtles. I don't know how the best way of putting that is, but yeah. Yeah, lizards and snakes actually share the same family. Obviously, snakes, there's kind of then a subdivide between them, and the lizards are on the one side and snakes are on the other. And then iguanas are one of the family of lizards. The iguanidae, so obviously it contains all the iguana species, including the Utila iguana we've just seen, green iguanas, marine iguanas. All the iguanas are in that family. And then dragons. Dragon is generally just a name given to certain lizards, just on a naming kind of basis. So obviously Komodo dragon, but a Komodo dragon is a monitor lizard. Then you've got bearded dragons, war dragons, things like that, which are agamid lizards. So yeah, dragon's kind of just a naming thing for certain types of lizard. There's no real criteria for being a dragon, for want of a better way of putting it. I think it was just people thought it sounded good, especially for something like the Komodo dragon. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Dragons and iguanas are lizards. Iguanas are a family of lizard, and then dragons is just fancy naming for certain species. So yeah, we live feed invertebrate prey, Stephen, so things like crickets, locusts, earthworms and things like that. It is illegal to feed vertebrate prey to anything, so yeah, any mice and rats and things that get fed are already dead. It's just live invertebrate prey that we're able to feed. So this guy here is our Chinese crocodile lizard. Quite an impressive thing, named because they do have this kind of ridge of scales along their back, which makes them look quite crocodile-like. These guys are found in China and Vietnam, an endangered species. And these are one of the species that we feed things like worms to, and crickets and all that kind of stuff. We do have a flying gecko in here as well, who is always fairly impossible to spot. He's normally, if you visit, he's normally up in this corner here. If you're going to see him, he'll be up in that corner. But he has, oh no, there he is. I don't know if you can see him there. Let's see if this works. My camera is playing up a bit at the moment, so apologies. That mark there on the wall is our flying gecko, facing downwards. That's his tail, but not getting a great view there, are we? Flying gecko named as such because they do glide through the trees and things like that. Right, we've got 3 more bibs just to have a quick look at. We've got our prehensile-tailed skink here. So we've got 2 individuals in here, a father and daughter. The one skink is there, I think that's the dad, just there by the water pole. And daughter will be hidden away somewhere, I would have thought, because I can't see it. So these guys are also known as monkey-tailed skinks, because they have a tail that they can use to grip onto things and branches when they're kind of moving through trees and things. They're found on the Solomon Islands, so they are also known as the Solomon Island skink. They do have a lot of names. And they do actually give birth to live young, which is quite an interesting thing with these guys. Again, we've had lots of breeding success with these guys over the years, but we are just down to these 2 now, so we'll see what happens after with these long term. We then got our Leach's giant gecko in here, who is in the tube there, and that's about as good a view as you're going to get, unfortunately. So we will move on from him, but yeah, he's in the tube there. Very large gecko species, take up your whole hand really. And then we'll finish on our mangrove snake here, who is posing very nicely. Very impressive looking snake. Again, mildly venomous species, so we will again kind of look at these guys next week. Southeast Asian species, and named as such mangrove snake because they do spend a lot of time in and around water and things like that. So they are usually found in kind of mangrovey habitats and things like that. So there you go, there was a quick whistle-stop tour of our reptile house. If you've got any last minute questions, feel free to send them in. I am just going to pop outside and we will walk round towards Pete just to finish off. Go and see what Pete's up to. Just as we were doing a bit of a reptile-y theme today. yeah, so obviously in weather like this, where it's quite nice and warm, we've got to have the fans on in the reptile house, just to keep it a little bit cooler, because although they do like it warm, they don't like it super hot. So yeah, we do need to get the fans and things like that on, which we do in this kind of weather. Friday especially is going to be very, very warm. So yeah, we'll have to be careful on Friday as well as our duty. I don't think the bush dogs are out and about. They were fed a little bit ago, so yeah, I think they've probably gone to bed. Yeah, so the majority Lorna seem to be omnivorous, especially with things we've got. So things like the Iguana and the Neuromastics and things like that will eat mainly salady, leafy, grassy stuff, but they will also take invertebrates and things like that. Obviously things like monitor lizards, such as Pete here, are generally carnivorous. You know, they're pretty much only carnivorous. From any size monitor lizard really, you know, even the smaller ones will just eat invertebrates and things like that. And then you do get species that are pretty much just herbivorous, so it depends on the species. The majority, I would say, are omnivorous, and they will kind of opportunistically have whatever they can, but yeah, generally a little bit of anything for them. Afternoon, Tim, hope you're okay. Right then guys, we will call it a day here with Pete. Glad he's outside having a bit of a sunbathe. So yeah, we'll be back next week at the same time with letter V, which V will be for venom. So we'll have a look at some of our venomous species. We'll have another look at the Beaded Lizard and the Mangrove Snake, and try and have a look to the Pygmy Slow Loris as well. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you again next week. Cheers guys, thank you.